Hello, my dear students. Welcome to the Samveda e-learning program. My dears, we are discussing about fractions, that is lesson number 7, fractions. I heartily welcome to the third session. Today, you are going to learn more about fractions. My dear student, before going to start today's concept, let us recall what we have discussed in the second session. In the second session, we have discussed about equivalent fractions, then simplest form of a fractions, and also we have learnt about the identifications of like and unlike fractions. Let us recall about equivalent fractions, fractions that may have different numerator and denominator, but they represent same value. We have taken few examples also for the equivalent fractions, and we have identified equivalent fractions also. For example, in case of 4 by 3 and 8 by 6, they are equivalent fractions. Why? Because when we are going to simplify them, we will get the same value 4 by 3, and equivalent fraction represent same part of a whole. That is the important thing you have to note. Numerator and denominator having common multiples, they can be expressed in simplest form. For that, what we have to do? You are telling correct, my dear student. We have to find the HCF numerator and denominator. Here the numerator is 36 and denominator is 24. So therefore, I am taking a division method to find out the HCF 36 and 24. 12 represent the HCF of 36 and 24. Now divide the numerator and the denominator by 12. You will get 12 3s are 36 and 12 2s are 24. So therefore, the simplest form of 36 by 24 is 3 by 2. Now, we have also learnt about like fractions. How to identify the like fractions? You are remembering all those things now? Very good. If two or more fractions having the same denominator, even though they are having different numerator, if they are having same denominator, so like this, they will be like fractions. Then what about unlike fractions? The fractions with different denominators are called unlike fractions. Here 1 by 5, 2 by 6, 4 by 7 and 3 by 10. So these are the examples for unlike fractions. Now, based on the knowledge of the concept what we have learnt in first session and second session, now let us learn much more about the fractions. So today I am going to teach you about comparing like fractions, and I am going to teach you the comparison of unlike fractions too, and also about addition of like fractions. These are the important things you have to learn. So let us learn one by one. Are you ready with the book as well as pen? Now let us come to the first important thing, comparing fractions. Just by seeing the numerator and denominator, or just by seeing the fractions, it is little bit difficult to compare the fractions. That means which one is greater and which one is smaller. So for that, we need some mathematical steps. It is easy to compare by seeing the fractions with respect to the figures. So like this, it is easy to say which one is greater and which one is smaller. So here, the same rectangle in all these 4 cases are divided in different proportion. Am I right? So here, the rectangle is divided into 2 equal parts and one part is shaded. So that shaded part represent 1 by 2. So in the second rectangle, it is divided into 3 equal parts. Out of 3, 1 part is shaded. So that is written as 1 by 3. Similarly, here the same rectangle is divided into 4 equal parts. Out of that, 1 part is shaded. How to represent the shaded portion? Very good. It is represented by 1 by 4, and here it is divided into 5 equal parts. So, among 5 equal parts, one part is shaded. So, therefore, that can be represented as 1 by 5. It is easy to say which one is greater and which one is smaller one. By seeing the given figure only, we can come to the conclude that 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 5, because here it is having larger shaded region and it is having smaller shaded region. Now, in the figure I told you already, 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3, and we can write 1 by 2 with the help of symbol. We can write 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3. So, this symbol indicate what? Greater than. Very good. Now, similarly, so if you are going to compare all these 4 fractions, we will come to know that 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3, and which is greater than 1 by 4, and which is greater than 1 by 5. The greater is 1 by 2 and the smaller is 1 by 5 among the 4 given fractions. Now, let us learn the comparing of like fractions. My dear student, I told you already, if you are going to compare the fractions mathematically, it will be easier. For that, there is a conditions to compare the fractions. Which is that condition? Means, if the denominators are same in 2 fractions, the fraction with greater numerator is greater of 2. That means, if you are comparing like fraction, means if the denominators are same, means they will be like fractions. So, in case of like fraction, so which is the greater fraction? Means if the greater the numerator, then greater among the given fractions. So, that means here 3 by 4 and 1 by 4 are like fractions. So, among 3 by 4 and 1 by 4, 3 is the numerator for first fraction and 1 is the numerator for second fraction. So, here 3 is bigger than 1, therefore, according to the statement given over here, so if the fraction having same denominator, greater the numerator will be greater 1, that is 3 by 4 is greater than 1 by 4. Let us compare 2 more fractions. Compare 3 by 8 and 5 by 8 by using the concept what we have learnt now. So, these are the example for like fractions. Among like fractions, so you have to see whether which is having greater numerator and which is having smaller numerator to compare the fractions. So, you can take the help of diagram also, but this diagrammatic representation is not necessary for all the cases. Here in this case, here 3 by 8 and 5 by 8, 5 by 8 is greater than 3 by 8. So, here we can write 5 by 8 is greater than 3 by 8. Now, compare which is larger among the given fractions. Here 7 by 10 is given and 8 by 10 is given. Among these two, you have to identify larger one. Which is the larger one in this case? So, according to the statement, 8 by 10 is greater than 7 by 10. So, which symbol we have to write over here? 7 by 10 is smaller than 8 by 10. I am using smaller than symbol. Let us come to the another problem. So, in this case, 11 by 24 or 13 by 24. Among these two, 13 is the greater numerator and 11 is the smaller numerator. Which one is greater? Very good. 13 by 24 is greater. Therefore, 11 by 24 is smaller. Here also I should use smaller than symbol. That is, 11 by 24 is smaller than 13 by 24. Now, come to the one more. 17 by 102 or 12 by 102. Here, which is the greater numerator? 17 is the greater numerator. Then which fraction is greater over here? 17 by 102 is greater than 12 by 102. Now, I am using greater than symbol, that is 17 by 102 is greater than 12 by 102. Now, there is another question. We have to arrange the given fractions in ascending order as well as in descending order. The given fractions are 1 by 8, 5 by 8, 3 by 8. So, among these three, so denominators are same, numerators are different. So, according to the statement given, if the denominators are same, greater the numerator will be a greater one and smaller the numerator will be a smaller one. So, in case of arranging ascending order, 1 by 8 will be smaller than 3 by 8 and 3 by 8 is smaller than 5 by 8. So, therefore, ascending order of the given fractions is 1 by 8, 3 by 8, 5 by 8. Then what will be descending order, that is increasing order to decreasing order. You are exactly correct. The greater the numerator will be a greater one. We have to write the greater fraction first. 5 by 8, 3 by 8, 1 by 8. So, is the descending order of the given fractions. Now, let us go to the another set of fractions. Here also we have to arrange ascending order as well as in descending order. It is easy to arrange the given fractions in ascending order. In this case also, all the denominators are same and numerators are different. 1 is the smallest number and 11 is the biggest number. Ascending order of the given fractions will be 1 by 5, 3 by 5, 4 by 5, 7 by 5 and 11 by 5. Now, it is easy to write in descending order. So, just keep on arranging in reverse manner. So, that yields descending order 11 by 5, 7 by 5, 4 by 5, 3 by 5 and 1 by 5 will be the descending order of the given fractions. Now, let us come to the comparing of unlike fractions. Diagrammatically we can compare easily, but to compare unlike fractions again we need a mathematical procedure or method. What is that? Let us learn. If the numerators are same in two fractions, here we are taking the same numerators, then the fraction with smaller denominator is greater of 2. In this case, if the numerators are same among two fractions, the fraction with smaller denominator will be a greater one. That means, among 2 by 3 and 2 by 5, here the numerators are same, here smaller the denominator will be a greater one. That means, 2 by 3 is greater than 2 by 5. Is it understood? Okay, my dear student. Again I am taking the same picture over here, because here the numerators are same but having different denominator. So, just recall the concept of the same numerator with a different denominator. Again here, if the numerators are same, that is among 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4 and 1 by 5, all numerators are same. Then which will be a greater one? The smaller the denominator will be a greater one. So, here 1 by 2 is greater than 1 by 3 and 1 by 3 is greater than 1 by 4 and 1 by 4 is greater than 1 by 5. Now, let us go with fractions with a different numerator and denominator. This is very important. Let us learn how to compare unlike fractions with a different numerator and denominator. My dear student, here the two fractions are given having different numerator and denominator, that is 2 by 3 and 3 by 4. Now, let us write the equivalent fractions for 2 by 3 as well as 3 by 4 until we get the same denominator. I am writing for the 2 by 3, I am writing 3 equivalent fractions for 2 by 3. What we have to do? We have to multiply the same value for the numerator and denominator. So, therefore, the equivalent fractions for 2 by 3 is 4 by 6. Let us write one more equivalent fractions by multiplying 3 for the same numerator and denominator. So, that is 2 into 3 is 6, 3 into 3 is 9, that is 6 by 9 will be another equivalent fractions for 2 by 3. and write one more equivalent fractions for 2 by 3 just by multiplying 4 for the numerator and denominator. How much you will get? 2 fours are how much? 8. Very good. What about 3 fours are? 12. So, that is 8 by 12 will be the another equivalent fractions for 2 by 3. Similarly, write the equivalent fractions for 3 by 4. What you will do? Yes, you have to multiply the same number for numerator and denominator. Let us multiply 2 for the numerator and denominator. How much you will get? 3 2s are 6, 4 2s are 8. Then what about for the next equivalent fraction? You have to multiply 3 for the numerator and denominator. 3 3s are 9 and 4 3s are 12. Next equivalent fraction is 9 by 12. Similarly, write one more. 3 4s are 12, 4 4s are 16. Look at the equivalent fractions for both 2 by 3 and 3 by 4. So, in case of 8 by 12 as well as 9 by 12, these two are having same denominators. Now, let us recall the comparison of like fractions with the same denominator and different numerators. Here among these two like fractions, 9 will be the greater numerator than 8. Therefore, 9 by 12 is greater than 8 by 12. Which is the greater among 2 by 3 and 3 by 4? 3 by 4 is greater than 2 by 3. Very good. 9 by 12 is greater than 8 by 12 means 3 by 4 is greater than 2 by 3. This is the method you have to follow, and there is another method by taking the LCM for the denominator also we can compare the fractions. Let us learn the another method of finding or comparing fractions. Compare 5 by 6 and 13 by 15. So, here what we have to do? We have to find the LCM for the denominator 6 and 15. So, for 6 and 15 the LCM, the method of finding LCM is easier, just recall. So, here 6 and 15 are the multiple of 3, that is why I am dividing 6 and 15 by 3. 3 2s are 6 and 3 5s are 15. 2 and 5 is not possible to divide further with a common number. So, therefore, we have to multiply 3, 2 and 5, that yields us LCM. That is LCM for 6 and 15 is 3 into 2 6, 6 5 is 30. Then what we have to do? We have to equal the denominator of given fractions to the LCM. So, therefore, to equate for the LCM, we have to multiply 5 for the denominator, that is 6 5 is 30. If you are multiplying 5 for the denominator, we have to multiply the 5 for the numerator also. Therefore, 5 5 is 25. The equivalent fractions for 6 by 5 by 6 is 25 by 30. Similarly, write the equivalent fractions for 13 by 15. What you have to do? You have to multiply just 2, that is 15 2s are 30, 13 2s are 26. Now, these two becomes the like fractions having the same denominator. Then how to compare the greater one and smaller one? How to identify the greater one and smaller one? So, among like fractions or among the fractions having same denominator, greater the numerator will be a greater one. Therefore, in this case 26 by 30 is greater than 25 by 30. 26 by 30 is greater than 25 by 30. Therefore, with respect to this, 13 by 15 greater than 5 by 6. This is another method of comparing fractions. So, one is by finding the equivalent fractions for the given fractions until we get the same denominator, and another method is with the help of LCM method we can compare easily. Now, let us come to the addition of like fractions. So, it is easy to add the like fractions. So, before going to add numerically, let us understand the process of addition of like fractions diagrammatically. So, there is a circle, it is divided into 4 equal parts. Among 4 equal parts, one portion is shaded. What is the fractional form of this diagram? It is 1 by 4, very good. Let us come to the another diagram. It is also shaded one portion out of 4. It is written as again 1 by 4. If you are going to add this shaded portion, what you will get? So, this figure we will get here. How much portion of the circle is shaded? Half of the portion of the circle is shaded. So, if you are going to add these two fractions, we should get 1 by 2. Let us see how to add these two. Means 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, the denominators are same, therefore, write as it is. Add numerator, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 by 4 will be the answer. If we simplify further, we can express this fraction into simplest form, we will get 1 by 2. If the denominators are same, you have to write the LCM for the denominator and you have to add the numerator directly like this. You will get 2 by 4 and 1 by 2 in this case. To add the fractions, there are 3 simple steps, recall those. The first step is make sure the bottom numbers, that is denominators, are same. We have to make sure that denominators are same. Then add the top numbers, that is numerators, put the answer over the denominator and simplify the fractions if it is needed and if it is possible to express in simplest form. So, just recall what we have did in the first example. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 will be 2 by 4 according to the steps which is given over here. 2 by 4 can be simplified further, it will be 1 by 2. Now, let us add 3 by 5 and 1 by 5. Here just keep the concept what you have learned and use the method what I have told you. Write 3 by 5 plus 1 by 5 as it is, put the denominator as 5 and add the numerator directly because the denominators are same. 3 plus 1 will be 4. 4 by 5 is the answer for this fraction. Now, come to the second example. 1 by 21 plus 2 by 21. It is easy. Somebody is telling answer 1 by 21 plus 2 by 21 is equal to 1 plus 20 by divided by 21, that is equal to 21 by 21. Both numerator and denominator can be simplified further and your answer will be 1. Very good. Now, let us take one more example. 41 by 75 plus 19 by 75. I hope you are all doing in your book, right? 41 divided by 75 plus 19 by 75, add numerator. 41 plus 19 will be 60 divided by 75 and for 60 and 75 find the HCF. You know that the method of finding HCF, 60 ones are 60, remainder will be 15, 15 fours are 60. So, therefore, HCF is 15 over here. With the help of HCF, divide the numerator and denominator. 60 divided by 15 is 15 fours are 60 and 15 fives are 75. Therefore, answer will be 4 by 5. My dear student, you have learned wonderful concepts today and they are easier. I hope you are all learnt effectively and you have a small quiz based on the concept what you have learned today. Try to answer and choose your correct answer. 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 is equal to, you will have 4 options. Among 4 you have to identify the right answer. Option A is 2 by 6, option B is 1 by 6, option C is 2 by 3 and option D is 1 by 3. Here denominators are same, 6 should not come in the denominator, therefore, A and B is eliminated from the list. Among C and D you have to identify the answer. If the denominators are same, you have to add the numerator. Then what is the correct answer? Exactly, you are perfectly correct. C, 2 by 3 is the right answer. The 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3 is equal to, the options are 4 by 3, option B 2 by 6 and option C 4 by 6 and option D 2 by 3, add the numerator 2 plus 2 is 4 and you have to write the same denominator 3, then therefore answer is 4 by 3. Very good. I think you have chosen the correct answer. Now come to the mixed fraction. Here two mixed fractions are given. Try to identify the correct options for this. Option A is 2 by 3, option B is 8 by 3, option C is 6 by 3 and option D is 4 by 3. What you have to do over here? You have to express mixed fraction into improper fraction. You will get 3 ones are 3 plus 1 4, 4 by 3 and plus 4 by 3 will be the simplest form of the fraction. 4 by 3 plus 4 by 3 will be how much? 8 by 3. Very good. Your answer is correct. My dear student, I think you have enjoyed the quiz session. Now based on the today's concept, I am giving you some work as a home assignment and please do it in your book and show to your teacher. Do as directed. The question 1 is add with the help of a diagram 1 by 5 and 2 by 5. I told you how to add the fractions diagrammatically. Just remember the method of comparing the fractions diagrammatically and you have to add. Now in the second question, the diagrams are shaded. So based on the shaded portion, you have to express in the fractional form and you have to add the fractions, add the shaded portions of the figure. The next question is solve 1 by 18 plus 1 by 18. You have to add 1 by 18 and 1 by 18 and in fourth problem, you have to identify the greater one. Among 4 by 5 and 5 by 6, you have to identify the greater one. My dear student, I hope you have all learned today's concept effectively and you are capable to solve problem based on addition of like and unlike fractions and also the method of comparison of the fractions with the same denominator and different denominator. Let us meet in the next session with much more concepts. Till then, have a nice time, stay safe, keep learning, have a great time. Thank you so much.